When I die, bury me open and unashamed, just like my life was. Tell them that I was a man of many mistakes, that trial and error was two things I was a little too familiar with. Don't speak of me perfect. Tell them that I wasn't always a saint drenched in hymns in the morning, but I was once a rebellious black sky running from the sun. Speak of the whole me. Before you speak of the new me, tell them about the old me. Tell them, like Saul, I had a brick for a heart that I often stone Christians with. But like Paul, I met Jesus one day and he made me his disciple, and oh, how I loved him greatly. Speak of transformation. How I was born with a God-hating heart, but now lying before them is a man who died loving God with all of his marrow. Tell them that I was honest, even when it hurt. That I wore my emotions on my face like makeup and the truth on my sleeve like cufflinks. Tell them that I didn't hide the truth under a passive tongue, but God made me black, boy, bold, beautiful for his glory. Speak of his glory and none of my own. And tell them that I didn't always feast on the taste of Jesus, but I savored sin with tombstone teeth, a handcrafted casket tongue, and I had a shallow grave for a stomach. How I was thirsty and needed the type of grace that would unparch my desolate soul forever. But without my permission, his grace came in and sandstormed this dying desperate of a man. Speak of election, of all the midnights I spent wondering why God chose me out of darkness into his marvelous light, only for him to answer that daunting question with the smirk of the caressing moon glowing in his grace. Speak of grace, of love, of passion. Tell them that I loved my wife even before I saw her beautiful face, that my arms became a temporary home, and with fear of losing her, I held her tight like an unemployment check when rent was due. Tell them that I loved her like my life depended on it, because it did. Speak of love, speak of our love, how it inspired many but none as much as me, how our friendship was a lifetime conversation that I never wanted to end. Tell them that I displayed Christ in my home to my children by the way I served their mother, how I taught my sons the scriptures and how to smile proud with all of their melanin, how my daughter Eden changed you for the good by making me vulnerable, because her stare can strip the sky of its skin and expose the moon at noon. Speak of the gospel and how I was the foundation of my home, how I failed over and over and over again, but love with all of my convictions. Speak of failure, of disappointment. Ask them, who is man without God? Then tell them I was nothing without him, but everything with him. How my life was hidden in Christ, and when Christ, who was my life, appeared, I appeared with him also in glory. Speak of glory, and how regret didn't fill my grave the day God closed my life into an ending, but eternity whistled open and called me home. Tell them that this world was not my home, that this life was not my own, that I was bought with the price of God, so there's no need for worldly sorrow. When you speak of joy, speak of sacrifice. When you speak of pain, speak of peace. When I die, bury me open and unashamed, just like my life was. And when you speak of Preston, please tell them the truth, because it set me free.